The two players spawning down in the bottom left position. We've got the blue Protoss player from XMG. It is ToD. And his opponent spawning in the top right, nearly taking the series 2-0. It is the red Protoss player from ATM, Socke.
Yeah, so Germany versus France, the deciding match. A lot of historical rivalry between these two countries. Probably not a lot of historic rivalry between these two players. And if there is, I don't know anything about it. I'm sure they've played each other tons of times since they're both top Protoss players in the European scene. But I didn't really know how ToD's stance is and how his win rate actually is versus Socke. But they're both going to be playing super safe.
I don't know what their win rates are or their histories or things like that. I did try and take a quick look. I don't think they have often played each other. But what I do know is that in this series, they are certainly looking to be a fair match for one another. We've got the double gases being taken at the moment for Socke. Meanwhile, ToD, he just took the one gas for the time being. Both players getting their gateways up. On Daybreak, there's lots of different builds which are viable. So Lilian, why don't you run us through what a couple of those are, what we may be expecting from these two?
On Daybreak, everything is viable, really. It's such an all-round map for PvP. It's not the easiest map to blink it to the main base in. For example, Star Station, a map that was, I believe, vetoed for this series, would have been a map that you would have seen Blink play on, guaranteed, because it's such a beautiful map to do that on. This map, however, only has a small area to blink into the main base and has a relatively easy to defend natural. So if one of the players decides to go for Blink and the other has the Robo to defend with the Immortals and the Mothership Core, it should be a really close game. It doesn't really favor anyone. It all comes down to micro. On this map, everything is possible in PvP.
And that makes it really exciting, in my opinion. If you do have lots of viable builds going, it means that anything could happen, as you said, and that opens up many a possibility, and we will get revealed very shortly what could be coming. But for the moment, these two just both favoring going up to 2 gates, identical build orders aside from a slight variation in the gas timings from each of them. Really exciting. And Mothership Cores now getting started. This is going to be really evenly matched at the moment. One of them has to variate from this in the near future.
Yeah, they have. Let's go over what we saw in the last game. Socke played the same build in last game. He went for 2 gateways and then followed it up with a third, and then a proxy Stargate, and then another gateway. Is that what we're going to see him do in this game? Not very likely. I mean, going for the same all-in you've done in the last game, which failed, and do it again in the ace match, that would be the most risky thing known to man. So I think Socke is going to play it a little bit more safe and go for the Twilight Council.
Well, we've got ToD. He's taking a 3rd gate, actually. I quite like this. I think this is putting him in a nice spot. He's going to be able to apply a little bit of pressure. See that actually Socke's got 2 gates out as well. So he'll fall back, but he'll still be able to deal with that quite nicely. Socke, he still hasn't revealed what he's intending on doing. For the moment, ToD just forcing back this Stalker. All good. If you force back the Stalker, you're going to be very happy. ToD now starting up his Twilight Council. So he's going to be applying a lot of pressure to his opponent right now.
Socke is choosing to get out another 2 Stalkers in favor of getting the Twilight Council a little bit earlier. In comes the Time Warp. 3 Stalkers first, 3 Stalkers first. The Mothership Core, the focus of ToD was a little bit better. He was able to kill the 1st Stalker, and he's going to be able to kill the 2nd Stalker, and that 3rd Stalker might go down. Are they going to be able to trade evenly? Yes, they are. 2 for 2, I should say. But this Mothership Core out of Socke is in a bit of a risky position. Oh man, this micro war, it is so tense right now. A probe comes in to catch a little bit of fire. Socke taking a few hits there. And ToD, is he going to get that Stalker? Yes, they've traded so equally right now, but this Mothership
They've traded
Core,
exactly.
It's dead. The Mothership Core is gone.
And that is going to be a bit of a problem. It won't be able to get away. You're completely right there, Lilian. But both players until that point had each lost 525 resources. As we can see, though, we've got ToD now researching the Blink upgrade. Socke has his Stargate down.
Wow,
and is going for the Oracle. So he's going for an identical build. The difference is that he hasn't proxied the Stargate this game. Now,
and he's expanding behind this.
He is. That's a really big point, because that's arguably what lost him game 2, is that he didn't have an expansion to fall back on. But look at this, ToD, he's moving down. He's just making sure that there's no chance for Socke to come back in here. He needs to hit a nice little timing window with Blink, but having Blink Stalkers out means that those Oracles are not going to be too effective, especially if ToD keeps these Stalkers up in his main as he's doing for the time being.
Oh, he didn't see the Oracle head out with that pylon, unfortunately, and the Oracle was able to see the pylon of ToD. So a little bit unlucky, so ToD is not going to have any idea that his main base is going to get hit by an Oracle in just a little bit. Socke following this up. Ooh, a probe getting taken out in the middle of the map. Socke following it up with a Phoenix. Actually, he cancels the Phoenix, gets a Void Ray, realizes his opponent's going to go for a bit of a one-base all-in.
And now that pylon's gone, of course, no reinforcements coming through. Socke's natural base could potentially be into problems. And ToD, he's just moved out with those 2 remaining Stalkers. That is, he had 2 Stalkers.
What is Socke going to do? Is he going to bring that Oracle home to defend, or is he going to go for the counter-harass damage? He is going to go for the counter-harass damage. There's no Stalkers in position. Socke...
ToD, okay, ToD warped in. 2 Stalkers across the map, but he had 1 warp gate, which he will now be able to get back. But this Oracle already is doing a huge amount of damage. Meanwhile, the Stalkers pushing up the ramp. Though Force Field goes down there for Socke, but ToD just blinking back for the moment. ToD has already lost 10 workers, so he is pretty much all in now, especially with Socke's natural up.
ToD warped in only 1 Stalker, and 1 Stalker is not enough to deal with an Oracle. But Socke didn't want to kill the Stalker. He just wanted to go for more probes, and he got a lot of probes. Oh, the Photon Overcharge goes down, and no Stalker ends up dying. That's good news for ToD. But like you said, his economic position is far from ideal. Very far from.
Well, you could not be... It couldn't be much worse, really. 15 to 26. 1 base to 2 in the favor of the person with more probes, and that Oracle is still coming. That Oracle has got 10 kills, Lurlian. That is a happy Oracle right there.
There's 2 Void Rays now, and 2 Void Rays against this little of a Blinkstalker force. That's just not going to work anymore for ToD. He's going to have 1 chance. How is he going to try to make this work? Is he going to try to macro his way out of this the manly way, or is he going to go for I don't know. He's going to try to push in here, but with 2...
He's got to.
Void Rays. I don't know, man.
It's going to be really tough for him. The Mothership Core is there. It does not have enough energy yet for a Photon Overcharge, only at 82. The Void Ray trying to take some damage. ToD blinking as best as he can, and is going to be able to break through this now. And he's taking out the Mothership Core. He will get that sniped off, and suddenly this is going massively in ToD's favor. There's only a handful of units here. There's the blink up. He is going to be able to focus down these remaining Stalkers. There is a Zealot there. 2 Zealots coming in for ToD, and he has done it. He's broken Socke. We've got the probes getting pulled, and this is going to be it. ToD, he should have no problem pushing through this and taking the win.
It's still not over, because the economy of Socke is so much better. He's going to have more warp-ins. He's going to be able to use his probes in battle. ToD is not going to have that many reinforcements. He's going to warp in like 1 or 2 Stalkers. That's the only thing that he can warp in right now. But at the same time, Socke doesn't have any standing army right now. He's got 1 Void Ray and a few Zealots. That's all that he's got to work with. And these Stalkers could just blink forward, take out the Void Ray, and ToD might be able to take the victory here. It's still not over yet, though. It's such a shame that Socke doesn't have a Mothership Core anymore.
It is. That Mothership Core would have been so essential, especially with the Photon Overcharge. But just look at this problem. ToD is still reinforcing Blink. He's been utilizing it so effectively. The Void Ray is really the only ace card that Socke has right now, but it is so vulnerable on its own. Only 2 Stalkers supporting it. Many probes getting taken out here. We can see that ToD has managed to equalize the worker count, just doing sheer damage to the worker line of Socke now. This game is really close, but ToD is ahead by 10 supply, and his Stalker count is looking very impressive. He's done it.
He is going to go on and beat the German Protoss player here. So, I don't even know how he had done that. Going up against 2 Void Rays, GG gets